Petty. Love you, love you, love ya. Rest in peace. Yeah, I seen Flies' video on Crystal Con TBI. Good for Crystal. Hey, Carrie. I told you guys that. Do you guys think I said that and I was lying to you? I had actually conversed with TBI about that, but I didn't think I needed to put it on YouTube. There are things that I do that I don't put it on YouTube, but good for Crystal. So if that will answer everybody's question on TBI taking tips or not, that's a good thing. That is a good thing. So I don't know, but go give Fly some love. Hopefully she's feeling better. Your phone cut off last night as I gave Japanese wisdom. How dare your phone, RJ? Hey, RJ, how are you? Okay, there is a couple things I want to go over. As you guys know, my channel is a commentating channel. I commentate, I give my opinion. You guys' opinion is very interesting. Please feel free to give yours as we go over this. This individual did say like, share, and subscribe. So Remain Calm is sharing this. Now, this is from a channel called Justice with Matt Johnson. Justice with Matt Johnson. I've been subscribed to him for quite a while. He has done, a couple of, interesting tidbits about the Summer Wells case. Please feel free to go check him out. Could you go over my neighbors in my car park? What are your neighbors in your car park doing, May May? I do want to say this. I'm not sure who got me a subscription to my newspaper, the Herald Bulletin. I appreciate it so much. I do read it every day when it gets left in my mailbox. Hey, love, Mr. A. I'm just going to call you Mr. A. So this is what I found interesting in one of the papers last week that I received. There was a man who, he didn't put a picture, he didn't put his height, his weight, his shoe size, but he put his phone number in there and he wanted a companion. I thought about calling him, but that's too scary for me. That is way too scary for me. For real. They are arguing with each other and my cats are watching. Oh, it must be interesting if the cats are watching. May, you need to video the cats watching. Girl, people love that stuff. They absolutely love that stuff. My cats are always watching the neighbors. You are too, May. Don't fib about it. You know you're watching your neighbors too. No, but I do appreciate the subscription to the Herald Bulletin. I do read it faithfully when I get it out of my mailbox, and I appreciate it because I know somebody had to do it. They're just not sending me these newspapers for free. And if I buy them from the gas station, they're $3 a piece. That's crazy. But I do read the whole newspaper. Hey, I'm going to tell you one of the interesting articles. A local man was sentenced for crimes involving children. Okay. This is what he was ordered. This kind of gets me, y'all. So an Anderson man has been sentenced to 10 years in prison on the charges of child exploitation and possession of child pornography. Madison Circuit Course Division 4, Judge Hopper Tuesday sentenced Jeremy Borden, 25 years old, to serve 10 years with 6 years to be served, 3 years on formal probation, and 1 year on sanctions. Borden entered a guilty plea to 4 counts of child exploitation, only 1 count of possession of child pornography, and 1 count of possession of child sex abuse material. So dude's only serving 6 years. That's crazy. That is crazy. And then we have a teenager who was sentenced to 100 years. 100 years for a red rum. And I'll put that in when I'm done. Okay. Yes, $3, RJ. $3. So thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know who did it. Someone had to have done it. I know that they're not sending me these papers for free, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is interesting. Very interesting. I don't know if anybody's already seen it, but I'm going to share it because Matt Johnson said I could. All right, here we go, you guys. This is one of the behavioral panel individuals, Scott Roush, I think his name is. They are talking about Grandma Candy Hare's interview with WJHL. Okay, let me make sure I got the closed captions on. There they are. I think I've already got it sped up a little bit. Okay. All right, here we go. Like I said, I'm a commentating channel. I give my opinion. And yes, my banner has my Venmo and Cash App. If you would like to tip me, I'd appreciate it, but you don't have to, okay? For real.
Here to help break it all down, we have a very special guest. We have Scott Roush, world-renowned body language expert and behavior analyst. You have your own YouTube channel, and you're also part of the behavior panel. Fascinating. I'll have my links below. But I want to play you this interview with Candace Ayer, and she is the grandmother to missing Summer Wells. And we're going to pause it along the way, but I wanted to get your take on what she has to say.
Candace and I got up that morning. She came out and took me into the ER because my leg was messing up.
I have a question already, Grandma. Why didn't she take you the day before? Why didn't she take you on the 14th? Did they already, I guess they would have already known that CPS was coming that day, right? Hey, Tropicana, right? I mean, if it was such a concern, yeah, why didn't she take her the day before? Or the night, through the night, right? I don't know. It's just a question.
And we were afraid something was wrong with my knee. I have a knee replacement. And she was worried that there was something wrong with it. And she took me into the hospital. And I ended up getting a shot for it to get rid of the pain. And they prescribed me medication to take.
And I had to take a shit while I was in the hospital, and I wiped my ass, and a lot of filler.
To get the swelling down out of my knee and around my knee because it was inflamed. And then we waited around for my prescription. Summer went swimming that day at the horse stables, I believe it was.
At the horse stables, I believe it was, because I've been staying with Candy for a while, and you know, we would go fishing there a lot and do all kinds of things with the kids, but I just can't remember what the place was called.
And then we come back.
So I'm just going to pause it there because no one has been disputing the fact that she went to the doctor, that she was having a knee issue. I think that this is one of the first times I have listened to the fact that she.
Where is the receipts on that, RJ? So you're saying it wasn't at the hospital. You're saying it was at a clinic. Is that what you're saying? I guess it really doesn't matter. Right? I'm just curious on how you know that. I mean, I don't know. I don't. I guess I've never paid attention to, you know, that part of a conversation somewhere. So they gave her a shot at a clinic for pain. Okay. Didn't she blame the boys? Yeah, they were kicking her in the knee. Them boys was kicking her in the knee when they went to Gatlinburg, which was the weekend before, right? Not the weekend of Summer going missing. It was the weekend before that, right? Is when they went to Gatlinburg, right?
We went swimming earlier that day, but then we're going to get into the grocery section and when they get home. But does anything?
It's a walk-in clinic ran by the hospital and locals considered to be part of the emergency room. In other interviews, they said it was an appointment. What other interviews, RJ? Do you remember? Yeah, Gatlinburg was the weekend before. I mean, I guess it's really doesn't matter, right? Where it was. I mean, we questioned that in the beginning, whether it was the emergency room or a clinic. So I didn't realize, I mean, I guess, are you one of those med check places? Is that what you're talking about? Like a med check place? I mean, it's okay. It's all right.
Things stick out for you on.
And I have resting bitch voice ×2. So don't think that I'm being disrespectful to you, okay? I've got a cold, so that makes my resting bitch voice sound even worse.
This part at all?
Yeah, too many details. You have no reason to give all those details. You say what happened. You don't go through the minutia of that day. You don't go through all the tiny little things. For someone who's supposed to have experienced an emotional upheaval and emotional trauma from a missing child, grandchild, even the next door neighbor, you don't see that. That's not what you see. We don't see the facial expressions that show grief or sadness. We're just showing one. Her eyebrows are up. Sometimes she goes down where her labella, that little group of muscles there, they'll come together a little bit, but not very much. So right out of the gate, for me, it's looking odd. This doesn't look right.
Now, in case you're new to the case or new to this channel, I want to give you more background. Summer Wells went missing 5 years ago. Here's a
Lisa, I've listened to this interview 50 times. What am I supposed to be looking for this time that I haven't found the other 50 times? I'm just wondering.
report about the interview with the grandmother published by WJHL. It was published 4 years ago, March 2nd, 2022.
On June 15th, the day Summer was reported missing, Harris says she spent the entire day with her daughter and granddaughter. She says it started with a trip to the emergency room to have her knee checked out.
They prescribed me medication to take to get the swelling down out of my knee and around my knee because it was inflamed. And then we waited.
Lisa, come the fuck on. You knew that. You knew I covered this interview with WJHL 1,000 times. Clinic in their building. Okay, RJ. Thank you. Lisa, come on.
Wrong for my prescription. Summer went swimming that day at the horse stables, I believe it was.
After the family returned home with groceries, Harris says she took a nap, woke up and repotted cactus
There we
plants
go.
with her granddaughter. She says Summer ate a peppermint, went inside the house to play with her brothers, and that was the last time she was seen.
Okay, so now we're going to get to the part where she's asked about getting home.
Rob,
Hey,
rate these.
Wait, commercial. Commercial. Ooh, Rob Lowe. He's still one hot tamale all these years later, for sure. Hey, Rob. Now, what I will listen for, because I haven't listened to it for a while, right? Is Grandma saying when she was napping, right? I'm telling you, Carrie. Oh, not changing the subject, but kind of changing the subject. For those of you out there who know who Perez Hilton is, oh my gosh, that guy had a mental breakdown on freaking TikTok, I think it was. A mental breakdown. Lord, I'll have to talk about that a little bit later.
I went in my camper, and after we brought my groceries in for me, and the boys helped with that, and of course Summer. And I laid down and went to sleep, and I got up and I was sitting in my door.
I laid down and went to sleep. Then she got up. Okay, so when they got home, she got home, what people are calculating, if you go by the milk jug video, that Candace got home at like 3:15, 3:19, something like that, right? So they get home, they bring the groceries in, and Grandma takes a nap. So that puts her at napping around, hang on. Okay, they're picking my trash up. I didn't get my trash out on time yesterday. 3:15 to 3:20. So, okay, we can kind of calculate that, right? All right, here we go. She laid down and went to sleep. She got up and was sitting in the doorway.
Away, and we come out, and Candace asked me what I was doing. I said, well, we got to transplant these little cactuses into bigger pots.
Grandma stipulates they were cactuses. Some people call cactuses flowers. There are people that do that. The only thing I ever said about the cactus planting that was weird was the fact that it takes nothing to transplant a cactus. I do not see Summer handling those cactuses. Okay? I do not see a 5-year-old having an easy time with cactuses.
And
Anything from that part right there? Because I've talked to Chris McDonough, who is a former detective who is also spoke to the family and been on the property. And he said that there is no plants there. There was no plants that needed repotting.
Yeah, no, the interesting thing about that is mom says she pops right up out of the car, goes into the house, and then grandma says, I got to plant flowers. Okay. But there are no flowers there, not one. Okay. It looks like concrete inside of those flower pots with all the, cactus and all this other stuff. Okay. This is not a garden where she's planting flowers with grandma. Okay. And the interesting thing about this is Candace projects and says, yeah, it's really fast. So it's almost like 2 to 5, maybe 10 minutes at its maximum that Summer just disappears. But in grandma's, one of the interviews she does with the local news station is her story is much different. Her story is, I went in after we got home, took a nap.
See, that's what I'm saying. The math's not mathing. The math is not mathing, right? Girl, Tropicana, I wore gloves when I was transplanting cactus. I always did. Now, we can go back and I can pull up the interview. Hey, Mads, with Chris McDonough. I can do that. And oh shit, hold on. I gotta mute myself. Mute, remain. What was I doing? I was getting ready to do something. Okay. So no, the math is not mathing.
Came out after that. That's when the flower story started. So there's a gap in their narrative. Grandma says she was in the trailer sleeping. Okay. After getting home right away, she went into the trailer sleeping, which makes sense because she went to the hospital to get some pain medication for a knee injury. That was the whole purpose of that morning. Okay.
People said the dirt in those flower pots were like concrete. Well, I can give my opinion on that only because I took horticulture for 4 years in high school, right? That was kind of what career I wanted to go into or whatever. Hey, Kels, what is up? You've had a headache? Well, I'll try to talk really easy, Kels. Okay, I'll try not to yell. I have a loud voice. I do, ma'am. I apologize. You might want to turn me down a little bit. I'm just saying. Girl, it's one of those days for me, so I don't mean to sound snarky, but, I'm just kind of in a snarky mood. I just can't help it. So they come home, put groceries in the house. All right? That's probably what? 10-minute, not even a 10-minute job, right? And grandma goes to sleep. So they're not mentioning, what time grandma went to sleep or grandma getting up. But let's listen. Now, we were talking about the flower pots. Depending on what kind of a soil you use, your dirt can become very hard. Very hard. So sometimes if you're just like digging the dirt and, it's topsoil, the longer it sits there, the harder it will get. Now, the interesting thing about that is you really have to know how to handle cactuses. You have to know especially how to water cactuses. Okay? That is very important. If you do not water them correctly, they will rot. They will absolutely rot.
So my question was, did she pop one of those pain pills and it made her drowsy? And that would make sense that you're in the trailer having a nap.
Now, what's interesting there is, if you don't take pain pills very often, they don't make you sleepy, right? If you aren't, you know, maybe grandma didn't take them regular, I don't know. But I've always heard if you don't take pain medicine that much, when you take a pain pill, they give you energy. Well, I don't want to say they give you energy, but you know, you feel like just doing stuff. But then again, we have to remember that allegedly grandma was at the swim hole, she thinks. See, that's what gets me. You went there with your granddaughter and your daughter and Hunter. They took you somewhere that you wasn't even sure where you were at. You get out. Aren't there signs that say horse stables? I could be wrong. I could be.
Which fills in the time gap, makes it problematic. Candace makes it sound like they got home. She goes into the house. We come out, unload the groceries. Grandma says, "Hey, let's plant flowers." Okay. They plant flowers. She gets a piece of candy, goes in the house, disappears. Okay. It's almost like 5-10 minutes at its most. Okay. But grandma has herself inside the trailer sleeping. Okay. That's a real problem.
Hold on, I muted myself. Because that's shit I do. I muted myself. Okay, so if you're telling a story about the day your granddaughter went missing, would you be like, yes, and my granddaughter came in and got a piece of candy? Peppermint candy, to be exact. When Candace tells the story, she makes sure to say that, you know, it was peppermint. It was peppermint. Summer's favorite. Hold on. Damn it. Why do I keep doing that to myself? Okay, hold on. So I'm going to rewind this just a little bit. Okay, so.
Minutes at its most. Okay. But grandma has herself inside the trailer sleeping. Okay. That's a real problem.
So grandma was sleeping for what? 10 minutes? No. They don't say what time. We only know that allegedly this stuff transpired between 3:20 and what? 6:10? Because she said Summer was missing for 10 minutes, right?
He questions that part of the timeline. Did anything stick out to you?
There's still no emotion. Still no emotion that should be there. I like Chrissy's great. But there's one thing can you rewind it a little bit? There's something there when she said something that got me.
Candace asked me what I was doing. I said, well, we got to transplant these little cactuses into bigger pots. And we did that. And then Summer came in and had a piece of peppermint, which is her favorite. And then she went in. She said, Mama, I want to go play with the boys. Candy walked her back to the house. And she asked the boys to keep an eye on her. And that's the last time I seen her.
We're still not seeing the emotion.
So, I mean, they talk about her emotion, right? But yeah, Carrie, that's a great point. I do not know Candy Hair. Never met the woman in my life. But from what I did see of her, she seems like she is a rough and tumble woman, right? Now, you have to look at Candace too. Candace seems not to try to show a lot of emotion either. So that could just be her. So I'm trying to go by the verbiage more than him going by her facial expressions. Yet this guy is a professional. So of course I'm going to listen to what he says. Grandma looked like she went home, fell asleep, woke up to a nightmare. Yes, Johnny, but let's hear her talking about when she learned Summer's gone. It's because Candace is yelling for Summer.
Emotions we should see on her face. We're not seeing any of. This is not someone who experienced a trauma like that, in my opinion, because she's not. We don't see the remnants of that. We don't see what's left over from that. We don't see any sadness. We don't see any her being deep in thought about that. She's deep in thought about what she said before. She's tracking her earlier story, whatever that means for this situation. I've always been under the impression that if anybody had something to do with what happened to that child, she would have some more information than she's been given out.
Woo woo. I absolutely 1,000% agree. Right? Who is the only person all these years that hasn't came out and even talked about it, right? Now you had people that I think Queen Bee said she went to lunch with Grandma or something. And Queen Bee said that, that conversation, she wasn't going to put it out on YouTube, right? But then we seen some text. We never really heard from Grandma that much, especially after this interview. Now, it was said that there was a kind of a outburst that Dawn Wells had when I don't know if it was just someone who was there helping out or a creator. I don't remember, right? For sure. Okay, Lisa. But so that is a person. Hey, Cinnamon Girl, that is an individual that was at that property that day that really has kept to herself and not spoke. Now, obviously, she did speak to law enforcement, and we all know that she said if law enforcement wanted to talk to her, they had her number. My opinion, and I can't tell law enforcement what to do, a good possible time to speak with her wherever she is would be now. She's been away from Dawn, and Candace for quite a while now. I don't know what the communication is like. I don't have any idea about that. It's been long enough. Maybe another conversation away from 110 Ben Hill Road It would just be interesting, right? It would just be interesting. Sounds like Grandma in the Jack and Lily case. Didn't that Grandma kind of say the same thing? Yeah, she would. Yeah, Johnny. You're right. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Johnny. Hey, watch this mess.
All right, let me play a little bit more.
Tell me when you first realized that someone was missing, what was going through your mind and what was it like hearing that?
To be blunt, it was hell. I mean,
To be blunt, it was hell. All right, I got to change my banner. I have to change my banner. See, I shouldn't be like that. I shouldn't be like that, but I am. When people accuse me of something, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it twice as bad. For real. But I have Summer's banner up, you guys. And I was being a bitch. I apologize. To some people. To others, not. Not at all. Look at the look on her face. Who the fuck was she looking at? To be blunt, it was hell. For real.
That's not the question she asked her.
That wasn't the question she asked her. That wasn't the question she asked her. You know what that reminded me of? When Don Wells did the interview with the news and the reporter asked him if he had anything to do with Summer missing, he did not answer her. He went into this story about something about himself, and she let him go for a couple minutes, and then she was like, put the brakes on, dude. I ask you a question. And Dawn knew she caught him, and he started chuckling. He chuckled over it. He knew that this reporter caught him not answering that question. It is there. I think it's WJHL. Yes, that happened.
As everybody knows, I have a missing daughter. She's been gone for 12 years. And all I could say is, oh God, not again. And I couldn't do nothing but cry. And we yelled for her, and
She said all she could do was say, oh, not again.
Yeah, but that's not the question she asked her. She asked her what she thought about that, and she said it's hell. That's not the right answer for that question. That's not the right answer, and that's not the right reaction to be giving for that. I'm telling you, the emotions aren't there for this. Like when you sent me the link for this, I just got to watch it because we knew this stuff before we got on here. Just briefly ran through it, and watching this again when it's bigger on my screen here, something's up here. That's what I would think. If there's anybody that knows what happened to that child, I think she would know. If something has happened to her besides somebody taking the child or something like that, I think she would be the one for information, because for some reason, and it could be all, you got to keep in mind, you got to take into context everything going on with this situation. There could be all kinds of things we're not aware of, but that's not the way a family member looks when a child goes missing. This is not the way they talk. I know, because I've seen that a lot.
Okay, if this is the question I have. If they sent the boys down the hill and prayed that they didn't get taken, right? You already got one child that you say got taken. You send the other 3 down the hill, right? And Candace is allegedly in the truck driving around. Who is we? Who is we that was standing at the top of the hill hollering, Grandma? Oh, I may be looking at that wrong. I could be. I don't know. Just a question.
And that's not what we're seeing. That's not what we're seeing here.
And this is someone that has a missing daughter of her own. So she has a missing daughter, and then.
And also another thing that got me was Don, he claimed he didn't know what grandma was doing. He was like, I guess she was out there talking to the cops. So, right? I would think that if y'all were standing out there on top of the hill with law enforcement, you would know where your mother-in-law was. I'm just saying. At first, I thought she just wandered out. Yeah, I can see them all spreading out to look for her. Yes. And I'll play some more of it because I think she says we sent the boys down. So were they just standing at the top hollering? Jody said she heard them, right? Because she said she heard Candace saying something to one of the boys, right? Yep.
She has a missing granddaughter. So that's what she's kind of talking about too. And you're right. You know, you would expect to see a little bit more.
We never did find her. She called 911 and she called Donnie, and we sent the boys down over the hill, and I stood in front of the, over by the edge there and watched them.
What was grandma going to do if somebody grabbed the boys? Right?
And was praying to God every minute that nobody would take them.
Isn't that a weird thing to say?
That girl.
We were
Yeah.
praying that no one would take the boys.
Yeah, because you're trying to see it in your mind somebody's taking that child. That's one of the things that bothers me as well from earlier. She's trying to put that picture in your mind of the possibility of that happening, because it happened before, to make you think she actually believes that's what happened to it and tries to sell that story.
They all have tried to sell that story. That has been the big story, that someone took her. Okay? From the beginning. From the beginning. Jody said, now Jody said around 6:09, she's out there kind of looking for Summer because, you know, the Candace hollering was a little bit different than her usual holler. And she says Candace came in Grandma's truck to the end of the driveway. I believe Grandma's truck to the end of the driveway. She was talking to Dawn, right? Dawn immediately, with what Jody says to him, says, "Are you telling me my daughter was taken?" Why would you ask Jody that? Why would you ask Jody Sue Brown that, right? Oh, what I was going to say earlier, in my mind kind of sidetracked, was the creator, or I don't know who, I can't remember who it was, stated that they heard Dawn talking about the timeline and saying that Candace and Grandma, you know, better figure out that timeline. Then he says law enforcement told him to get with Candace and discuss that timeline and get the timeline right. Well, I don't see law enforcement doing that, but, you know, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. Yeah, it was Dawn who said it. For sure. Yeah, Dawn said it first. Well, wait. That's what Jody says. That's what Jody said. So, Because that was the comment where Jody said, like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. It's weird, okay? Taken by call, I report a red truck. Fred said Summer take by car. He see not on camera like red truck, not on camera. What, Stephanie? We don't know who actually reported the red truck. Dawn is the one who said that somebody, Dawn even said it was a woman. Dawn even claimed that whoever took her was a woman. That's exactly what he said. But I don't think we really know who said the red truck. They said that it was like a delivery driver. Dawn mentioned the red truck. In which conversation, Carrie, did he mention the red truck? I know him and Candace on WJHL acted like they didn't know about a red truck. So, I don't know. Well, one thing I'll say about the red truck, I believe that red truck is what got Summer on the Amber Alert. I believe that's what got her on the Amber Alert. Right? I don't know. He said a woman. Now, he might have changed that, but when he was talking about it, he mentioned whoever took her as being a woman.
As to somebody's taking the child, which I believe she says here in just a bit, not long from now. But there's no emotion here. There's no true emotion here. This is a show. This is put on.
And this is not too long after little Summer went missing.
There was no sign of her.
Do you believe that someone took Summer, or do you believe that she wandered off? What do you believe happened?
I believe somebody took her. I know people say it doesn't happen, but it does happen. It happens in small towns. It happens in big towns.
So immediately, somebody took her. Somebody took her. Right? There's flies. Red trucks are common. There were hundreds of them. Yeah. Remember when, well, I've always said it was a red herring, but that didn't hurt things with, putting out the Amber Alert for sure. Red truck and bus on. Johnny, there were red trucks everywhere. Red trucks everywhere. And then when they searched Van Hill, I don't know what tip they had that led them to that property. Some people were trying to say it was a red truck. And this guy goes on Ryan's panel and, is related to the individual that lives there at the Van Hill property and talks about a red truck that he had. So, I don't know. That was taken to Mexico or some shit.
Happens in the country. And I believe somebody took her.
So she believes that someone took her, but she didn't answer the question if she had anything to do with it.
Yeah, she doesn't think somebody took that child. I don't think. To me, I'm sitting over here getting all. Here's what happened. You never know exactly what happened in situations like this. There's no way to tell, but I can tell you we're not saying the things we should be saying, and she's saying things she shouldn't be saying, not just to protect herself, but she doesn't know what not to say. If that makes sense. So she's putting a picture of her mind.
And grandma didn't know what to say. You know, could it have been the Dawn hearing? You have to remember, grandma was on camera. She was on the news. I can guarantee you that, you know, the jail had the news on. The main reason she came out to start with was to say that she had not lawyered up. That's when Candace wrote the little note, you know, in code. In code, it was Dawn, Dawn baby, Donnie, I haven't got a lawyer. Right? That's what that was all about. And I don't think grandma did know what to say. Let me say this, if your daughter was a neglectful parent and left a property with 4 children at home and their grandmother, you know, probably feeling a little bit good after her medication, and, you know, was, even if she was awake, hanging out in her trailer, right, with the door shut, even with her on that property, I would think that she absolutely is going to cover for Candace. What if Candace was gone and grandma was the adult on the hill? I would think she probably might feel a little guilty. When Candace told the boys to keep an eye on Summer, okay, it's one thing to do that if you're going to leave the hill. Even if you say that to the boys, wouldn't you let the adult that's left on the hill know, hey, I'm slipping out for a minute. I told the boys to keep an eye on Summer. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, the truck that got wrecked was not the truck they were looking for, if I remember correctly. Fred had all them visitors that day. Like he said, one of them could have been the red truck that was spoken on. Looking at property that was, yeah, I mean, yeah, that red truck could have been anything. No. This is what I learned, and I don't know if it's the truth or not. There was a red truck that supposedly was having problems, and Andy Bernard said that that wasn't across the street from Dawn and Candace's place. That was somewhere different in the holler. I can't remember exactly where he said, but for sure. Yeah, they all had red trucks. I'm telling you, There was 1,000 freaking red trucks. There was even one that was found that somebody had caught it on fire. Right? Hundreds of them.
Of somebody taking the child, because then there's a possibility of them taking other children. So she's got to stand up there and watch them. That's her, the children she has down the hill or whatever, because they're that brazen. And she knows that happens. And notice how many times we see shrugs with her. We actually see a single shoulder shrug when she's talking about that as well. So I would focus on her. You know, I've spoken to Candace in depth. You know, I talked to her a lot, a couple of times, and that's not. I think she knows a little more than she's saying as well. But I think if something had happened, I'm just gonna you know, this is what I think. Just suggestion. It might be those two together would know what happened to that child. That's what it looks like to me. They would.
He has talked to Candace many times. Many times. Well, I don't want to say many, but he talked to her a couple times. And so, who was at home when Summer went missing? Candace and Grandma.
Know something. Is the grandmother still with us, quote unquote?
I believe so, but she doesn't do many interviews, and I've been told that she even moved from the area.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense.
Let me play one other short clip of the grandmother talking about her missing daughter.
Because I am sick and tired of the lies.
To me, this is me. Grandma was more animated and was sick and tired of conversations that people were having about her daughter, Rose. Watch her animation speaking about Rose. Sick of YouTubers talking about Rose. Okay, so maybe it was on Daisies or something, and they were talking to Candace, and Grandma got crappy and was pissed off about what people were saying and doing about Rose. I remember that. I don't know if anybody else does. Okay, come on, Marshall.
Hawkins County 6-year-old Summer Wells' grandmother, Candace Hare, says it was hard to speak on camera as she's been reliving a familiar nightmare.
Rose has been missing for 12 years. I miss her dearly. She's the baby of the family.
Hare's youngest daughter and Summer's aunt, Rosemarie Bly, went missing from Wisconsin on August 21st of 2009.
And let me tell you, that is horrible. That is horrible. For a child to be missing, you don't know where she's at. That is horrible. And like I said, she's much more animated about that than speaking about Summer.
To go through it again with my granddaughter Summer is very heartbreaking. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, is what a parent goes through, what a grandmother goes through. It's the not knowing is what tears us up. It's the not knowing.
There's actually emotion in there. There was some emotion with that, actually, true.
That's what I said. For sure. Okay. So that Grandma showed more emotion speaking on Rose, in my opinion, than she did Summer.
Emotion. We know that because of the way that what's called the grief muscle sort of happens up in here for her. That's when these muscles here, the glabella, group up, and then they pushes down from the forehead and makes an upside down horseshoe. And so that's one of the things you look for with somebody who's really grieving. For, you can be either, if somebody gets shot, there's a lot of pain, you'll see that. If someone's really grieving, you'll see that. Or if they're reliving an experience that's got a lot of emotion.
And look, there's a possibility that maybe Candace and Grandma got together and wanted to get Summer away from 110 Ben Hill Road for a reason, right? I mean, that was said in the very beginning. That was spoken about. I think somebody called in on Dolly's talking about, I don't know. They said they were related to Candace. I don't know. But spoke something about that, if I remember correctly. It started out as, Candace was going to, well, this is what I think where it came out. Candace was going to send Summer away or sell her, and somebody caught wind of it and they did the opposite. Yeah, I don't know. Weird fucking story, right? Well, it has been 5 years. I don't know about Grandma being a hero. For sure. I wonder if law enforcement looked in Indiana. Where would they look? If you look at Clyda Trent, she has individuals that live in Indiana. The Clarks had, I guess, lived in Indiana. I haven't looked at the names in a long time. I would have to go back and look through the names to see how many of those individuals were talked about. I want to know who told him that. That's what I would like to know. Who told Chase that he repeated it? He repeated it to a content creator, right?
Attached to it that's negative, you'll see that as well. So that was in there a little bit.
Rose has been missing for 12 years. I miss her dearly. She's the baby of the family. I had 3 girls, and she's my baby. Candace is my baby too, but she's my youngest one. And it's heartbreaking, and then have to go through it again with my granddaughter Summer is very heartbreaking. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, is what a parent goes through, what a grandmother goes through. I know it's hard for them if they pass away from COVID or some other tragedy. It's the not knowing is what tears us up. It's the not knowing.
So I did see true emotion in that. It was true sadness.
But she says at the end, just not knowing. Does she know more than she's letting on? I mean, she's making a statement of, the worst part about all of this.
This is the thing. And I'm just talking here, okay? If Candace by herself or Candace and Grandma sent Summer with someone, okay, and maybe they were supposed to bring her back. Candace was maybe supposed to meet them somewhere to pick Summer back up. Could they have, talked about meeting at the gas station where Candace allegedly was, sitting in the bathroom, whatever she was doing, and Summer was never given back. If they were to say, we don't know where she is, guess what? They wouldn't know where she was. Do you guys remember okay, I can't remember the name. I apologize. The mother that took her daughter on like a cross country getaway. They ended up finding her unalived, right? What I'm getting to on that was the mother said that she allowed these individuals to take her child because she was going to have some type of surgery, outpatient surgery, and that they started ghosting her. She said she gave the child to them, and then they wasn't contacting her anymore. She couldn't get in contact with them. Who was that little girl? It was the little girl that the mom was doing weird stuff. I don't remember, you guys. Dang it. That upsets me that I don't remember that. They ended up finding the little girl unalived. For sure. Oh, sorry, I just don't remember. I'll have to think. I'll think about it. It will come to me.
This is not knowing.
Yeah, well, I think that's true. I do hear that a lot as well. And that's the big fear, not knowing what's happened to your child, not knowing where they are, that kind of thing. I didn't see anything in there that was really weird or odd or out of place. I don't think she would be referencing not knowing in any other way but that, what she's talking about there. But I see where you're coming from. But I don't think so. That's quite common for when you see a real situation like that. So maybe something did happen to her real daughter that she's not, has nothing to do with. But when it comes to the granddaughter, that's where I would say, talk to her.
And, in our talks before about other subjects, other people, you have mentioned that sometimes there's half-truths, like, in a statement like that, I don't know what happened to her after something else, or I don't know where she is now, versus, that doesn't always answer the question. I don't know overall what happened.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There's a big difference there as well. When somebody in their family goes missing and you start talking about, what do you think happened or whatever, and they give you this blast of 100 different things, or they'll zero in on one. And it'll be one that sounds plausible, but you just get a weird.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Flies, the math don't math. None of that adds up. She said she woke up with Candace hollering for Summer. She said she took a nap, woke up, was sitting on her steps, right? Told Candace, we need to get these planted. And goes back in and takes another nap. I mean, I don't know. For sure. Yeah, Melody Buzzard case. I don't think her mom's went to court again yet. I'll have to update that.
Feel about it, and that's what I think is going on here. Because usually they'll say, I don't know what happened. And so many different things could have happened, but she zeroed in on the one like that and said, here's what happened. And so did Candace. So that's what makes me.
Another note here, Matt, is look at that photograph on the wall. See the girl there on the wall? Okay. In the distance. Yes, right there.
Here. Yeah.
Yeah. That's Candace's sister. Okay. She vanished in Wisconsin without a trace. And her case is still open to this day. And so I thought
that you reference it as well, right? Did you know that ahead of time?
No, I had known that, yes, they had another family member who had disappeared.
Yes, Carrie.
But I
absolutely, Carrie. If Candace told the boys to keep an eye on Summer, right? Which I believe that she was leaving. That's my belief, though. People can believe whatever they want. It just doesn't make sense that you would tell the boys to keep an eye on their sister when you're right the fuck outside. You're supposed to be right outside for 2 minutes. What sense does that make? Right? They got home and yeah, adjusted the knee brace. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the math don't math at all. It never did. Yeah, I mean, that's the way I feel about it. Yeah, I mean, definitely, I don't think I would do that, because if I was leaving, I would say, hey, keep an eye on your sister. You know, I'm leaving. Right? Why would you tell them when you're right out fucking side? It doesn't make any sense, right?
But when I saw the photograph, I wanted her to tell me more about that particular circumstance as well, if she knew. And you'll notice pretty quickly she didn't want to go there, so I didn't want to go there. I figured, okay, well, we'll have enough time to talk about that later on.
That's my little sister that's missing.
Oh, that's Rose.
That's Rosie.
Oh, wow. Wow. And who's the guy?
That's her ex-husband.
Wow. Do you think he had anything to do with that?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, we don't want to go
I
there.
can't say.
How's your mom deal with that?
It's difficult.
Yeah, I know.
You wonder a little bit.
What is it that you would ask her if you were?
Hey, did you guys hear that? Come on, Chris. You know, he told Candace to watch his interview with Hunter and Allie and them. And I don't know why he did that. Right? And then he says she didn't want to talk about it. But listen to what he says. These are his words. He says, I want to back it up just enough. Okay.
Well, I had known that, yes, they had another family member who had disappeared. Okay? But but when I saw the photograph, I wanted her to tell me more about that particular circumstance as well, if she knew.
He wanted her to tell him more about that circumstance. Okay? Listen to what he says, though.
And you'll notice pretty quickly she didn't want to go there, so I didn't want to go there.
He says she didn't want to go there, so he wasn't going to go there.
I figured, okay, well, we'll have enough time to talk about that later on.
That's my little sister that's missing.
Oh, that's Rose.
That's Rosie.
Oh, wow. Wow. And who's the guy?
That's her ex-husband.
Wow. Do you think he had anything to do with that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Do you think he had anything to do with that? She says, I don't know. Now listen to what he says.
Yeah, we don't want to go there.
We don't want to go there. Don't blame Candace, sir. Do not blame Candace on that one. I'm not even a Candace fan. She answered you, and then you were like, okay, we don't want to go there. I'm just saying.
Say.
How's your mom deal with that?
It's difficult.
Yeah, I know.
You wonder a little bit.
What is it that you would ask her if you were face to face with her?
I would ask her the same things that I would ask Candace, or that I did ask Candace before. I would get into the details of what happened to that, and then I would match those two stories and see.
That's right. Go talk to Grandma, Mr. Roush. I think this is Scott Roush, right? When Don had him gripped up and saying the boys was to be watching her. Well, I mean, we definitely, I mean, I know what I seen, and I seen Dawn very quickly throwing the boys under the bus. Right? What did the oldest boy say? Oh, that interview with the oldest boy.
How close they are, Candace's story, and then her story. That's why I'd like to talk to her, so I could ask her some of those questions. And then I remember and we also have on video all of Candace's reactions. I've seen those a lot to the questions I asked her there. And I would ask her if she is under the impression anything had happened to that child outside of just like a normal kidnapping, because that's an odd situation. I would bring that up as well and say, in a situation like this, you're out in the middle of nowhere, man. You're out in the middle of nowhere. I know there's workmen and things like that, but what's happened here that you are assuming doesn't happen very often out in those situations like that.
Scott Rouse, thank you so much for your time and your.
I'll have to go back and watch that again because we went over that and I must have missed him saying it wasn't my fault. I'll have to go watch that again.
Insight into all of this. I know that we both hope that there's a resolution soon.
Okay, thank you, Matt Johnson and Scott Rouse. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to switch it up, ladies and gents. Oh, I got to show you guys something first. This is fucking hilarious. Hold on. Watch this. This is why Lips and Ernie get along so well. Watch this. This is Sizzle's lair. The link is in chat. All right. This is why Ernie and Lips get along so well.
And talk. Like, just the chat room open or whatever. Oh, Aaron left. Robin, can you find Aaron, please? Just all you gotta do is click on his name and go to his channel that way.
Watch this.
3 dots, top right hand corner, love. You can share it.
It's funny.
Copy, and then come over here and paste it. Free site. Who told you to get out of the corner? Oh, Aaron, gotta thank you so much. Boop, I'm going to do it right now. Boop. No, you have 2 subscribers. You're about to have a couple more. Fucking damn this goddamn dumpster shit. I don't like throwing away all my crap. Shit is the only corner I got in my whole house.
Watch.
If we can come on. Ouch. Oh my god. I gotta go. Ouch. I gotta go.
That is funny. You never know what's out there. You never know what's out there, y'all. Okay, here we go. This is Ernie. This is why they get along so well.
Everyone.
Well, yeah,
I'm sure there was some ugliness in there somewhere, but I couldn't see it, but it's all good. Probably for the best.
It's okay. You're good. You're good. You're good, babe.
Oh, Deborah, no, I am not Tiffany Marie.
He just fell out of the chair. He does it. He does it twice. Watch it. Watch this. That is funny. Funny. He does it again over on Brad Enlow's. He absolutely does. You think he done this on purpose?
No, I am not Tiffany Marie. I
Okay,
don't sound. I don't look like Tiffany Marie. I don't sound like Tiffany Marie. I'm not Tiffany Marie.
Ernie, where did you just go?
I think he fell out of the chair.
That's what it looked like.
Laurie
For
P,
why?
thank you so much, Laurie P. And Charlie Boy, thank you so much. Y'all are all making me smile. Y'all are all really making my day.
She doesn't even care. She doesn't care. She's like, hey, chat. Yeah, I think he fell out of the chair. Hey, chat. Love you, chat. That is so funny. I still don't think she ever got out of the truck. Some people don't think she got out of the truck. For sure. For sure, for sure. I mean, kind of crazy. Oh, is that who that is? That Lisa lady? Yeah, I have where her family came in and was not happy that Ernie was at her house. Is that the same girl? Right? I don't know. I mean, look, if she said, Summer, get up, then Summer woke right up. She just said jumped right up. And you can take that as in if she jumped right up, she had a seatbelt on. But I think she was trying to say that Summer woke up. That she just jumped right up. But I don't know, right? Oh, okay, fine. What, fell out of the chair? Yeah, he does it on Brad Enlows too. Okay, I want to pop over to this. This is very interesting, you guys. This is about Ernie. And this is on Brandy Gray. The link to her channel is in the description. And this is just something interesting. I thought it'd be interesting if we went over it and kind of commented on it. You know, and this was from, hang on, I'm gonna tell you. April 3rd, 2022. This was back in 2022, you guys. So, you know, when Ernie was close to the case, when he had a source then close to the case. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. Now, let me say this. Remain Calm does not care if you like him or not. All right? We're talking about the situation here. Like I said, this was back early 2022.
Conversation to be a little bit disturbing. Listen closely.
Listen closely.
Not even the FBI can fix this line. So have they ruled it foul play actually? They don't know they don't know what to call it because
he's asking what TBI is saying, right? Why would he care what TBI is saying? I don't know. I feel a certain way about Ernie and, you know, him involving himself into this case. That is just me, though. Y'all can feel however you want to feel.
don't know. Well, let's be honest. I mean, they can't figure it out. You know, we got the top experts in our country looking into this.
Top experts in the country looking into it. Here is a post from Don Wells on June 24th at 9:30 a.m. I dreamed that Summer was with me on a commercial construction site. I asked her where she had been, and she said down the road. I woke up with the word Moderna repeating over and over again. We've been praying to God to send angels and please give us something to go on. I've looked on maps and could only find Moderna prod in South Carolina and a small place in Mexico. Please help me with this. It might mean something to somebody. Anybody figure out what Moderna was?
They have no idea. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
They have no idea.
Yeah.
So,
You know, hell, dude, you know.
Wait. I went past that post pretty quick. Oh, no. Cow and corn country. I've never seen such perfect condition for crops anywhere else, and have seen thousands upon thousands of acres of farm here in Tennessee. Greed is what causes hunger issues in our world. Lord have mercy. All right. Okay, then.
realistic.
Yeah.
They have no idea.
Yeah.
So,
You know, hell, dude, I'm done with this shit, man. I'm telling you right now, I'm trying to settle down right now. I want to make a life for myself. I'm tired traveling the world, dude. I've been doing this for the last 5 years, bro. And I'm just like, shit, I've seen shit that's like, good God. And I'm
Okay, so let me take it back just a minute. I'm going through it pretty quickly. I'm sorry. Red shoes. Red shoes and bobbed hair are signs of the ritualistic abuse that young victims are subjected to. The red shoes are symbolic of SV. I'm going to call it SV. All right.
God. And I was looking for some dating sites or something like that. I don't even know about.
Okay, Dawn says, this was the letter that Dawn wrote to the kidnappers. To the kidnappers of my daughter. I asked God, and you know what? What I'm wondering is, why is there so many grammar misspellings? There's a lot of misspelled words in this, right? That's awful weird. Did they do that intentionally? Remember, they said Don never wrote any of these letters. He had somebody else do it. Well, Don Wells, whoever wrote this for you, if somebody did, they wanted to make you look stupid with all the misspelled words. I'm just saying. To the kidnappers of my daughter, I asked God, and I believe he's given me the go-ahead to plead with you first to release my daughter. What? God gave you the go-ahead to plead with the kidnappers first to release my daughter, and there should still be time for you to repent and change your way and still obtain eternal life. Oh, I get what he's saying. So Don's basically saying that God gave him permission to speak to the kidnappers first and ask them to give Summer back, and maybe he wouldn't turn them into law enforcement. If not, I will ask God for your destruction in a violent way. I'm asking this time, please let her come home. We love her so much. It's indescribable. We're so deeply hurt. Just so you know how it will be if you don't let her go. In 3 days, I'm asking God for your destruction. Take it from me. Do not play with God. That's, okay.
No damn dating sites. What I should get on and watch truck.
This is Tina Simmerly, Don Dada, and others. Okay, pedog. What? What is pedogate? What does PEDOG 8? Am I? Yeah, it must be very stupid. I don't know what that means. All right, don't put it in chat because then I'll have to take it off for sure. Go to sleep, Mr. A. You better be ready. That's a nice way of saying, vengeance shall be mine and it will be miserable. Yeah. Yeah. He asked God. He asked God to, be kind. And you got 3 days, or I'm going to ask God to be not nice. For sure. Oh my gosh, J-Dub. Yep, Don was sitting on the toilet. Didn't he have his sunglasses on? You know what was always weird? A lot of times he'd wear sunglasses while he was doing a live in the house. I mean, sorry. Who wears sunglasses in the house? We need some of y'all's amazing skills over Summer's case. It looks like kitty snuff G8 when you trudge beyond the bottom feeder's whoosh. It's as bad as the ping pong pizza party findings, pool party findings. But it tastes for what? Buffalo Bill meets Hillbilly. Hampstead Theater Party. This needs some priority exposure with quickness. What? What the what? Okay. These must be predator hunter slang. I don't know predator hunter slang.
Don't tell me all this shit, all right?
Pay attention to Ernie's side of this conversation as well.
Isn't debt really?
We shall, Brandy. Okay, hold on. Yes, there is a lot of trafficking. Hold on, I want to back it up to the. Brandy said that's his son. Stop posting false info. I don't even like Don, but I don't believe in lying to people. Oh. Predator Hunter Nation says, looks like a SNUFF filmmaker's dream house. It looks like a horror movie all on its own. How do y'all know what one of them SNUFF filmmakers? I mean, I ain't never seen. Okay. I mean, I get it that, of course, the dungeon was creepy. It was very creepy. Right? Oh, Predator Hunter Nation says. Okay, wait. Hold on, I want to get it all. I want it all. Predator Hunter Nation. LOL. Heard a lot about you. Wait till we do our deal with you. Talk about ratings we know. What? Are these supposed to be with Ernie? Tina Simmerly says, Ernie's case is far more complicated. We need to find a surgeon to remove his implants. I've been successful at deactivating his implant, but the tech is constantly being used on us, and it's become clear we need it removed. Starry Ernie. The people need to know about the military side of human trafficking. It's time we expose it before you end up gone like others. We won't let them Max Spears you, brother. Okay.
I don't know if I want a country girl. Hell, they try to eat me.
They all do.
I can't do that.
Predator Hunter Nation. Folks, Ernie is bioengineered. He is a product of human trafficking, experimentation via military. Microwave tech is constantly used on us all. Research what the super soldier program is. He is the sentry. Whatever you are, I hope you do feel better someday. Well, what the fuck did they teach him? What the fuck they teach him? How to sit on his ass? How to sit on his ass and grift off people and make money? Is that what the government does? Are they wasting our money on that shit? They're like, come here. We are going to put this chip in you. And while this chip's in your brain, don't worry. All you have to do is just sit down and make up stories and do crazy shit. You know, walk along a highway, you know, wreck a van, a couple of them, throw shit, and be on Grindr. We'll give you a check every month for that. Oh, I'm being mean, aren't I? I shouldn't be mean.
I thought about trying to get a damn city girl, but I can't understand them.
Well, you know what? I just better pray about that, bro.
I have been, man. I have been. I hope they send me something, but they ain't.
That's a tough one because the women always show.
Don put on July 6th. Also check out what is the Jezebel spirit. July 6th at 9:12 a.m. Seems to be something familiar with all the negativity. A familiar spirit. The spirit of Jezebel. Are Jezebels negative? I don't know. Are they? I don't know. I don't know what Jezebel does. All right. Well, okay, we're going to see. What? Hold on. Dang it. What is a Jezebel? Here it is. In modern charismatic Christian traditions, a Jezebel spirit is believed to be a demonic force that drives manipulation, control, seduction, and the promotion of false teachings. typically operating within churches or families. The concept derives from biblical references to Queen Jezebel in the Old Testament and a symbolic figure in the book of Revelation. Well, wait. Operating within church or families. I don't know. Within the church, I ain't putting it out there. I am not saying Robin Lane, okay? I'm not. Just because all the men liked her, all right? She had, Timmy Mullins and David Dotson and, kind of weird. But anywho.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I'm not doing no more. I'm not doing no damn Plenty of Fish no more. You get on that shit. You don't.
Plenty of Fish. You're on Plenty of Fish and Grindr? Or did you drop Plenty of Fish and then go to Grindr? Is Plenty of Fish women? Or is it both? I don't know.
What that is, don't you? You get on that shit, you cannot. I mean, good God. No, but if you can figure out what is.
Why did Hunter's family turn on us after summer?
Kids are going to, you're doing better than the GVI, FBI, ATF, all that could ever do.
Okay, wait. So this is, I'm going to turn off closed caption for a minute. Oh, shoot, I can't see who it is. Oh, this is the text I was talking about. Okay, so this is supposed to be between Jenna and Candace. Oh, I'm so glad she had that on here, because this is what I was telling you guys about. So it says, it's okay. Did you tell someone that Donnie was home at 3 the day Summer went missing? She said, no, not 3. She said, what time did you say? 3:30 or 4, but you didn't see him. I told that did not come from you. Okay. I'm sorry I was taking up for you. He got people thinking you're this monster and you're not. She said, I know, hon. Please don't be mad. I love you so much. Okay. She says, I'm not mad at all. So, right?
I'm trying, man. I really am trying, and
Helping offering another explanation. A suspect will often try and mislead detectives by putting another suspicious person on the investigation's radar. If a person denies a kidnapping but mentions a creepy man in a van, it's important to see if there's any other evidence of such a person existing. Does this make sense to you guys? Kind of weird that there's a conversation that day, allegedly, that Dawn is calling Candace to talk about someone being up on the hill, messing with the kids, right?
that's why I said, I know you are. I know you are.
Okay. Yelling, everything. I came out here outside yelling for her, everything else. She was nowhere. I called Don because I was freaking out. I said, I can't find Summer. Get home now. He was like, call 911. I dropped my phone. I had to run over, get Mom's phone. and dial 911 because her AT&T phone is the only one that works out here to call 911. So I called them and told them what's going on. Before the cops even came out, I went down and told my neighbors, Summer's missing. Will you help me look? Just in case she did wander off. But I knew in the back of my mind, she never wandered off. She never went nowhere without me. She'll ask me to do something before she even goes and does it. She's scared to go in the woods herself. We've told her time and time again because of the bears and snakes. I sent the older boys down through the creek. If they've got a walkie-talkie and their buck knives, they can go down there. I sent all of them searching. I went out in Mom's truck and went all the way down by the church.
I see that, but that's why I said if you think.
Don says, an older gentleman said he dreamed of Summer last night, and Summer asked him to ask me if I was taking care of her Yucky. I wrote him back. Yucky was her dog. He replied he thought it was such a strange name, but never thought it could be a dog. She couldn't say Lucky, so we went with Yucky. Let me say this. Candace told a little bit something different later on and said that Summer thought it was Yucky because Lucky kept having puppies. Candace also mentioned that they would get rid of the females. She said it, I believe, over on Daisy's. I think. I don't know. I can't remember exactly, but I remember that conversation. She couldn't say Lucky, da-da-da-da. He said it was a beautiful dream. She was very happy and kept sending her daddy kisses. I don't know this man from Adam, but I asked him if he was a commandment keeper, and he said yes. I believe him. There's no way he could have known this. I've been asking God for something. Thank you, God. We love you and worship you. Reverend Donna Serafina had conversations with Don Wells until, if I remember correctly, Donna said if Candace had something to do with this, how would you feel or something? And he would not ever talk to her again. He wouldn't talk to her again after that.
If you could think of any word that we could have an extraction thing right off the bat, where would you say? Any city, any state, anywhere. Where would you say it?
I wish I knew. I've been in all the United States. I've been all over the country. I wish I knew. I've never, as well as I do. It's easy so a lot of things are easy. This is the thing. Not even FBI understands. So how would I know?
Right.
And how would you know? I mean, this is crazy.
I know.
If someone's gonna abduct a child, okay, and I wouldn't know the first place to look, just like you would.
Did you guys see this picture? That is so weird. That was August 21st at 5:45. Is that really Ernie? Liz, are you still up? Did you see that? I don't know who this is. Let me answer it. Oh, it was for Roberta. Like, Roberta hasn't had this number in 5 years. Roberta, quit giving your old phone number out. I get you don't want to give him your new one, but it's been years. Come on. Okay. This is weird. No. That just has to look like him. I don't know, though.
Well, man, I have to go by about what my training says and everything. What I would do with training, where I would look at. You have to, 97% it happens at home. I mean, that's the fact.
Somebody, okay, I seen something today, and I can't remember who was talking about it. Did he go and try to get VA benefits? Did he go and try to get VA benefits? Ernie?
Use your training to think like the police in order to not get caught.
I mean, and then you have to go through there. But once you got through that.
Oh, wait, I missed it. Hold on. This is Tina Simmerly, search for Summer Wells. The park made an announcement. They are closing parts of Cades Cove Road. I'm not sure if it's affecting the access area to the location marked out. We have decided to just go on and take a look. There's been a massive effort by some YouTubers to implicate us and accuse PHN of being somehow responsible for her disappearance since day one, and we didn't even realize it till our local detective told us. You got a local detective? Oh, she's talking about Benny Keys. That guy, Benny Keys, who we call Sleazy. You were calling Benny Sleazy? Well, I mean, I usually don't repeat what I hear, but, I heard that you were, Tina's organization it had something to do with CPS. See, I apologize. That's how much, my mind keeps that stuff in there. So what was it? Something to do with CPS. And y'all, I don't know. I can't remember what it was. I apologize. It was weird. Okay.
Caught.
I mean, and then you have to go through there. But once you got through that, you have to start looking at the outer stuff. You have to put the outer pieces of the puzzle again.
All right. Well,
now that was a thing. Let's go back to this picture. And again, thank you for putting this stuff out there. So this is supposed to be June 15th at 6:06. At 6:06. Right? And so you see, it looks like Summer's standing there. It looks like Summer's standing there. Right? And that's supposed to be at 6:06.
Well, I get that. I do get that. Because FBI tore our house apart. I mean, they did look at us strongly.
I know that. And I was just wondering. I mean, hell, they was up there for how long, bro?
Well, they tore.
What were you wondering, Ernie?
Ernie wonders an awful lot.
When they're going to start looking at the outer connections, since they've already checked the house and the parents.
Right.
Curious to know why Ernie is questioning all of this, about the outer connections. Well, keep listening. Listen to what Ernie has to say.
Our house apart at least 7, 8, 9 times. We got tired of putting it back together.
What do they do? Just come in and just like, hey, we're taking over?
Yeah, they come in here, took over, turned everything upside down, dumped everything out of all my trucks. I got so tired of putting all my tools back in my truck. I was like, fuck, just leave it out. I'm done.
Damn, bro. That would make me aggravated as hell. I could stand it anyways. I cleaned my damn car out one time.
Okay. So Dawn's talking about, his truck and everything. I want to back this up a little bit because I think I missed a text. Okay, hold on. I'm just backing it up for a minute.
What were you
I
wondering?
was trying to
Ernie,
look at my
when they're
chat.
going to start looking at the outer connections since they've already checked the house and the parents? Curious to know why Ernie is questioning all of this, about the outer connections. Well, keep listening. Listen to what Ernie has to say.
Our house apart at least 7, 8, 9 times. We got tired of putting it back together.
What do they do? Just come in and just like, hey, we're taking over?
Yeah, they come in here, took over, turned everything upside down, dumped everything out of all my trucks. I got so tired of putting all my tools back in my truck. I was like, fuck, just leave it out. I'm done.
Damn.
Okay, this is Tina to Dalton Stout. We need to look very closely at all the Gatlinburg footage for any kid that may look like her. Isn't there a toy store right near that candy place? It's been more than 10 years.
Bro,
okay.
That would make me aggravated as hell. I could stand it anyways. I cleaned my damn.
Good considering we live 30 minutes from downtown Gatlinburg. I asked her what she was doing in Gatlinburg. What are the chances you just happen to ask us for a photo op in the middle of filming, and then she wiped everything? Pretty bizarre stuff surrounding that poor little child, who I believe may have been born a PORN star, but that's just my opinion. What? When did they say they were in Gatlinburg? That was the same weekend that Candace and them were there. Now, people have told me, no, it was at a different time, but that's what I always thought that they were saying, that they were there at the same time.
Or at one time, I'm like, out of hell, man.
I got tired of putting it all back in the damn truck. Matter of fact, one of my trucks down here, one of them old junk trucks, I still have.
Yeah, let me tell you guys this. There had to have been a reason that they went to that property so many freaking times and was looking for something. And they absolutely had to have known at least what they were possibly looking for, because a judge would have had to sign a warrant.
Put all the crap back in it.
Mm-hmm.
I got tired of putting it back in there.
Right? I just wonder, man, I know a lot of people say that's, the timeline was made from that day. They talk about that, but, I ain't even look at the timeline. I just hear bits and pieces like the knee brace thing was put on or something like that. But,
they made us go, I had to rewrite this timeline.
I had to rewrite the timeline. Why would Don need to rewrite the timeline? He wasn't there. He wasn't there. Why would he need to rewrite the freaking timeline?
The TBI agent, I won't give you his name, but
I just want to pause it right there, guys, because this is really, really crazy. What he said. He had to rewrite the timeline. They rewrote the timeline.
If Ernie's part in this conversation still sounds innocent to you, keep listening. We
No.
haven't got to the good part yet.
It doesn't, ma'am.
That's the first time I'd heard about them rewriting the timeline. You don't rewrite a timeline on a missing child case. If you hear in the background, you can hear some water, a little bit of water dripping. It gets to more.
Okay, in this next clip, I want you to listen carefully and pay attention to what Ernie is actually saying to Don, what he's not saying also, and what Don's saying back to him. Pay close attention, and then I'll explain this to you.
Okay.
Right. Wanted me to write it and everything.
Right.
And my wife actually did something because she was so
Hold on. I was able to rewrite it and everything.
tore up that she actually forgot some things, you know. And then when I sit down with her, I meet Mr. EPI is.
That's when she had the tinfoil hat on. If y'all are seeing this picture, that's when she had the tinfoil hat on.
Just sit down with your wife, rewrite the whole thing, and go over it minute by minute, you know. And she was actually able to calm down some. I remember some details.
I thought she couldn't calm down for 3 years. Not 3 years. 3 days. When did you start helping her with the timeline? It took y'all, didn't it take y'all 3 days to go in and take lie detector tests?
Don't remember at first, you know.
Right.
And
Because of shock.
we was actually able to account for all of it finally. After we calmed down, you know, we actually was able to sleep after about a week. You know, it was just so. This is the most horrific thing.
It is. It is. And you know.
And it is. It is. So I'm not going to condemn him on not sleeping at all. I doubt, I mean, if Dawn came home from work and was at work that whole day, you know, I don't know if he had been taking substances or not, right? Dawn said, I appreciate that. I'm so lost. I believe that was her because that's how she talks and what she thinks of me. Always has. She tried to have me put away for 10 years. And now she's trying to lie her way out. What? Is he talking about his sister? Who's he talking about that tried to have him put away for 10 years? Who tried to have him put away for 10 years?
You see how we're talking right now? We sitting here talking.
Right.
This is what I wanted to do.
There's
I
Robin
didn't
and
want to
David.
damn you. And I didn't.
This is when I think it was.
Right.
Exactly. Man, you want to be for real? Or you want to be for real? That's a whole different. That's a whole different thing.
It is. It is. And I didn't know who these people. I didn't even know who these people were. And I was like, what?
Okay, wait. Because she's going through these. She's going through these text and stuff pretty quick. Let me see if we can get back to. Because I want to read them. I'm like that. Brandy Gray, that's his son. Stop. Okay, wait, we already seen that. We already seen that one. Okay, this is Killer something. I hate to tell you this, Bud, but you got scammed. Oh, this is where Ernie scammed the guy on the mask. This is where the individual says that the mask, he painted it for someone else, and Ernie took it and claimed he painted it. I don't know exactly what happened about that. I don't know if the guy took him to court. I'm not sure.
They just two people. They said nobody would, you know, they wouldn't nobody help them and everything. They come to our team. And at that time,
Okay, this is what I'm interested in. Okay, so there's someone that says, wow, on Voices Behind the Wall, a lady dropped a huge bombshell. Don was upset with himself because he would allow all kinds of different men sleep in the bed with his children. You guys look at the video and tell me what you think. Don would? Did you guys ever hear that? Did you guys ever hear that at all? By Exploited. Thank you, Exploited. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm looking at this, trying to read it and keep up with my chat at the same time. I apologize. Okay. Did you guys ever hear that? Anybody? You didn't tell me this was out there, Lisa. You didn't tell me that was out there. Not me, you didn't. Maybe you told somebody else that. You didn't tell me that. I would have to know who the lady was, right? Okay. These people who posted that are a joke, and they've been shut down. They will no longer be allowed to search for Summer. They lied, and they have a ton of issues with breaking the law, impersonating law enforcement, false statements of said found evidence, and much more. Their videos are gone, no longer welcomed on the Speedway property, and police are handling other issues with this team of clowns. Their circus days are over. As far as Dusty, she's next on the gag order. I'll just leave this here as well. So, yeah, they got kicked out of the
Hey, the summer.
racetrack.
What day was it? June 15th, right? Is that the day she went missing?
This is Cher talking to somebody. Now all of a sudden you have info on Dawn. She said, forget it. I've always had info on Dawn and Candace. What do you care? Also, something big happening as we speak. Even got a recording from Dawn. I played it to TBI and emailed it to them. This is when Sharon and Ernie were
about that time, like 5 o'clock, we was busting our first. We had our first predator bust over here at Newport. Yeah, that was the exact same day.
When Ernie allegedly went missing for hours.
And you know, same day.
Nobody.
Okay.
Nobody asked Ernie where he was or what he was doing on June 15th at the time Summer went missing. So why did Ernie feel the need to interject his alibi here? Why did Ernie need to create an alibi? And why is he discussing it with Dawn? Keep listening.
If it is invalid.
She's right. She is right. I'm not going to keep you guys on here much longer.
have to. And I didn't even know anything about what even went on. So,
He continues by adding that he didn't even know what was going on. He didn't even know that Summer was going missing.
Why
Well,
would
you
he
know
know?
what? I didn't know that Summer was going missing either, but I didn't feel the
neither.
need to get on YouTube and tell the world what I was doing June 15th.
That's
or
true.
that I knew Summer was going missing or anything.
That's
Like, I
true.
didn't feel like I needed to explain myself because I'm not in any way associated with the case and don't know them at all.
She's
So that
right.
just leaves me to question and wonder, why does Ernie, feel the need to do this? And why is he on the phone with Don discussing all of this?
That's
It
true.
almost feels to me like they have to get their story straight. So that they can be on the same page to make
Oh,
sure that TBI is getting the same information
interesting.
that they're telling each other.
Yeah. We need to look very closely at all the Gatlinburg footage for any kid that may look like her. Interesting.
Now, maybe I'm crazy and maybe I'm way off base.
Girl, no, I'm a little crazy too.
But I'm telling you that I have done a lot of research. I have studied this case and a few particular people for this entire 9 months.
Yeah, why would you wipe everything? Why would you wipe all your stuff?
And I'm just ready to, put my thoughts out that I've been holding on to. And I really feel like this needs to be looked at and considered pretty deeply. So let's continue listening.
And this was from back in 2022. That's what I'm trying to point out here. This is how, and I agree with her. I felt the same way. Some of us felt that way about Ernie involving himself in Summer's case way back, way back.
And see what else Mr. Ernie has to say.
Katina was over saying that she had seen you the day before over here at the red lights. You heard that one?
Really? Who is Katina? I
That's
thought y'all
right.
didn't know Don and Candace Wells.
Yep.
No.
Exactly. See, the weird thing is, Ernie says to me that he knew Don Wells from a long time ago. Now, I didn't know whether to believe him or not. That's the thing with Ernie. You never know whether what he's saying is truthful or not. And I thought it was a little weird that Tina Simmerly acted like she had never heard that from him, right? She had never heard that from Ernie. So that made me question it. Was he lying to me? If they were looking for Summer and were trying to set up interviews with Dawn, you would think that would have been spoken of, right? You would have thought that Ernie would be like, hey, Tina, I know Dawn from a long time ago. I'm just saying.
I don't believe that.
At the fairgrounds?
No, that's all lies.
Have you heard that? Have you heard of that?
I heard a bunch of stuff like that, but I can account for every minute where I was that day.
You was at work.
Don said he can account for every minute. No, I can't. Listen to what Don says. I can't account for every minute from that day.
Account for every minute where I was that day.
You was at work.
I can't account for every minute where I was that day.
Yep.
For like 30, but you came home or something like that? I don't know. I've heard so many stuff.
No. I even, like I normally do, I always go talk to the boys, that we work with all day long. One of my best friends, I talked to him all day that day. We bullshit, just like me and you are.
Right.
Bullshitted all that day. The day before I fired,
so if you bullshitted with somebody all that day, was somebody working with you? Because if you were in the house working, you would have had to have somebody working with you. If you bullshitted with the guy all day, or, he was in the other house, and as you was coming out to go to lunch or, you know, do whatever you were doing, you seen him then?
What the fuck is that? Dudley, I fired Dudley the day before. That's why he was. That's why I thought. That's why I thought he had something to do with it, because that boy will do anything to get back at you.
Is that the Cam dude?
No, Dudley. I'm going to bed. I'll be down so short. No, I fired Dudley the day before.
Well, you guys can go over on Voices Behind the Wall. It's the last interview with Dudley that Cher did, because after that he got thrown in jail. But Don Wells gets up on panel, and him and Dudley are kind of, you know, going back and forth. And if I remember correctly, Don kind of acts like that, you know, he wasn't accusing Dudley of taking Summer or something. I may be remembering wrong, but I know they had that conversation.
Who the hell's Ronald? Who the hell's Ronald? I've heard Ronald, God dang it, man.
So right here, Candace has already went out of hell, but she finds out he's talking to me in a minute. Oh my God. When she's like, get off there, she starts hitting him and all kinds of crap, buddy. I tell you, she starts like, you can't talk to him, get out of here, and all that. But here it is.
Don hadn't gone to jail yet, right? When Ernie had this conversation with him. Don hadn't gone to jail yet. So why wouldn't Candace want you talking to Don?
I'm calling out yards. You know, that's why
This is
I'm not
almost
worried
done, you
about
guys.
me. I'm worried about stuff.
I know, and that's the most important thing. You know, I asked you about Cher a while ago, and I didn't mean to bring it in, but you know, is that how you met Benny?
I only met Benny because I seen him on YouTube. You know, I went on with Cher and some other YouTubers because I just wanted to put someone's picture out there for their life. That's the only reason. I've never been on YouTube.
Roswell baby, whoever that is. Also, he says he didn't realize the boys were home. Yet he says because they never want to go. That would mean you knew they would be at home. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, Candace couldn't have been home at 3. Don said he thought it was 3 when he was talking to her when she was in the parking lot at Walgreens. Right? He said that he would work late because they were all gone. But yet, Hunter says the phone call was someone up on the hill trying to touch kids.
For Facebook my entire life.
Right.
I wanted to try to save someone's life. But
So Cher introduced you to Benny then.
Let's back that up.
I wanted to save someone's life. But
I wanted to try to save Summer's life. Oh, by doing Facebook and YouTube?
for Facebook my entire life.
Right.
I wanted to try to save someone's life. But
So Cher introduced you to.
That's what he said. He wanted to save Summer's life. Right? This says, this is Jenna, I guess. I do having my facts straight. Cher does not talk to Candace at any point, period. Only Dawn. I talk to Candace nearly every day. Candace will not speak to Cher. She said what she had to say to Cher. Then Cher blocked her. Yeah, Cher and Candace never got along. I mean, that was never secret.
Benny then, pretty much.
I've seen
So here he is asking about Benny.
Benny a few times. I was able to contact him, and he helped me out a lot.
Benny did help them a lot with the social media stuff. They would come on and, you know, ask questions and with Dawn and stuff.
You know,
Yeah, I know.
A video earlier about Jody Sue. She was crying and lying to her. She's saying she begged me to some crazy crap. I don't even know Jody Sue.
Who is Jody Sue?
She was crying down there one day when her husband was splitting up. I was actually going to let her use my Suburban.
Yes, I remember this. Don saying he was going to let Jody use his Suburban.
I was going to give her the keys to my Suburban and let her use it because I felt sorry for her. And now I see what she's really about. I would give her the time of day ever again.
Did she go against you?
Huh?
I ain't heard nothing. Is she against you or something?
Yeah, she's talking all kind of crazy stuff. I don't get it. I've done nothing but been a neighbor to her. I don't even know her because all I do is work all the time. My wife knows her, but I tried to help her here and there. My wife was telling me about her and stuff like that.
So Donald.
There's a picture of the cactuses. There are cactuses in there. There are cactuses. 1 cactus, 2 cactus, 3 cactus. These look like that, maybe they hadn't been watered. Oh, I think there may be 4 cactuses in there. Hold on. I'm going to find it. We're going to see. Chris McDonough. Oh, no, interview room. Interview room. Interview room. No. Chris McDonough. Interviews. Candace. Well. Hold on, that's a swimming hole. This is the house. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna find it. He walks up to it. Let's see. I'll try to find it. There they are. Yeah, that's the same picture. So the picture that Brandy's got is the same picture. Let me get back to it. This is what Chris McDonough took. And there are cactuses in that. So, right?
She did the Suburban because she was worried about her husband was going to take her car. I said, "Man, just give her a Suburban,
Right.
Don't let her drive my Suburban." And then she moved away from here. I'm saying that she just like totally turned against us and saying all kind of crazy, blacked out stuff.
Now, was this before Summer went missing or after?
No, right after Summer come up missing.
Oh, okay. So you were still she tried to help you. She probably just trying to befriend you, bro.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of people just trying to befriend you, man.
Well, she wanted me to come up there and help her do something one night. She was getting real close to me and stuff like that. And I was trying to help her do something. I can't remember.
Investigator said the circumstances surrounding the disappearance of a missing Hawkins County 5-year-old, Summer Wells, remained uncleared, called that outside of the norm for a missing child case. That could mean anything.
What it was. Okay. I was just trying to get that hell up out of there.
Don,
I got scared. I come back home. I told my wife, I was sorry, really close to me for some reason. I was like, shit, I don't went back up there. So I was going to let her use my Suburban because I feel sorry for her and her kid and everything like that. Next thing I know, she's just turned against us 100%.
So that is the end of that, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we can ask freaking questions all freaking day. Ernie's questionable. Ernie is questionable. I'm gonna watch this again. I'm watching this one more
The
time.
chat room open or whatever. Oh, Aaron left. Robin, can you find Aaron, please? Just all you gotta do is click on his name and go to his channel that way. 3 dots, top right hand corner, love. You can share it. Copy, and then come over here and paste it. Free site. Who told you to get out of the corner? Oh, Aaron, gotta thank you so much. Boop, I'm going to do it right now. Boop. Now you have 2 subscribers. And you're about to have a couple more.
This is so funny.
Goddamn,
I can watch this all day.
I'm only throwing away all my crap. Shit is the only corner I got in my whole house. Yeah, if we can come on. Oh, ouch. Oh my God. I gotta go. Ouch. I gotta go.
God don't like ugly lips. He don't like ugly. For real. I'm going to get off here, you guys. Thanks for watching these 2 things with me. Please go check out Brandy Gray and Matt, the first guy that I showed with Grandma's interview. Please go check that out. Definitely always go back and research stuff and look at it. Nothing wrong with it. Yes, I did. Yes, the links to those are in the description, you guys. So those links are definitely in the description. I always try. Oh, okay, wait, because Sizzler's Lair is in the chat. It is in the chat to both of them. To Lips falling off her chair and Ernie falling out of his chair. That is so funny when Ernie fell out of his chair and the girl just kept on reading chat. And they were like, what happened to Ernie? I think he just fell out of the chair. Thank you, chat. Have a wonderful day. I'm like, that was hilarious. Thank you, Sipsy. All right, you guys, I am a commentating channel and I give my opinion. And I appreciate you guys hanging out. I can honestly say tomorrow's Friday, right? Oh, yeah, tomorrow's Friday. I might try to come on Saturday, but honestly, you guys, my voice and my throat is just freaking rocket right now. I never said I told you what I was trying to say. I do not know why Candace would Nasty Man go up. No, they were saying something about go over to Brandy's and watch it, Lisa, or rewind this. And hear what they said. They said it was Dawn. They were trying to claim it was Dawn who was letting men come up there and sleep with these kids. Now, could that mean men were coming up there and hanging out and, you know, they were all crashing all over the place? I don't know. Good possibility. But no, I have to take off tomorrow for sure. But I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for hanging with me. You know, there is innocent until proven guilty. I don't know. I don't know. It's all weird though. How come everybody associated with, you know, inserting themselves in Summer's case and, you know, are freaking weird. Weird. And it's almost like he enjoys it. Ernie enjoys getting that attention or whatever. So All right. I appreciate you guys. Be you, do you. Have a great night. Have a great tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see how I feel maybe tomorrow night, but it'd be late. So thank you guys. Go do whatever you're gonna do. For sure. I appreciate you. I do. All right, later.